So let me see what is on the chat. Let me see who. If you're signed in, you just confirm on the chat. You just write present. Good evening, class. Yes, so today's anatomy class. We are going to focus on the nervous system. I can see we are nine members joined. So I was expecting 10. I was expecting 12 of you. If I can confirm right from my register. I can see Kevin is present, Pauline is present, Karen present, Jonathan present, Godwan, McKenna present, Njoroge present, Ivy present. Good. So anybody? So where are these two other students? Yes. So welcome to our class today. Our session today will focus on the nervous system, which is the body's communication network, sense and response. Our session will take only 10 minutes. I'm conducting it via Microsoft Teams. As I told you earlier, I was expecting 12 of you, but I'm seeing 9 of you, 3 absent. I'll record the session for their benefit. So right away, let's start. Our learning outcomes. By the end of this 10-minute session, you will be able to, number 1, define the nervous system. Number 2, explain its major functions. Yes. So imagine if you touch a hot cup, maybe it is containing hot water, porridge, or hot tea, served tea. What really happens inside your body? Can you drop a chat? Can you drop your answer in the chat? Maybe just one word. What happens really to your body? What happens when you touch a hot cup of tea or water or porridge? The first one to type, I'll give him or her a shout out. I can see Karen saying some are in the lobby. Do accept them, please. Yes, I can see Nick in the lobby. Nick, welcome. Yes, Nick, welcome. 2 more learners to go. So what happens really to your inside of your body or to your body when you touch a hot cup of tea, porridge or water? Just drop a text in the chat box. Good one. I can see Pauline has typed painful. Sure. I can see Daisy is in the lobby. Let me admit her. Good one. Yeah, sure. You just feel pain, then you have to retract the hand from that hot cup of porridge water or so. The first thing that happens is sense, then your body processes, then your body responds. That is what happens in your body. You sense, you process, then you respond. So our learning our learning outcome number 1 was to define the nervous system, a clear definition of nervous system. Yes. So what is the nervous system? A nervous system is a network of specialized cells that coordinate the body by sending electrical and chemical signals. So what happens, the specialized cells, for example, we have the neurons. As you know, the structure of the neurons, they have the cell body, they have the axon, they have the dendrites, they have the myelin sheath, where the information that has been received from the surrounding or the environment, what is called the stimuli, is received and passed through the neurons. And what is passed through these neurons is the electrical signal. Then it is passed through the neurons to the brain, and then the brain coordinates and sends back the response. Then we have the chemical, which are the neurotransmitters, which you normally call the hormones. Also the hormones, they play a greater role. For example, when most of you have experienced the fight and flight, the adrenal rush. So what happens is that your brain is triggered in a way to release a hormone, which is a chemical neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which goes to the kidney cortex that hosts the adrenal gland, which releases the adrenaline, the epinephrine, to the blood. Then you have that fight and flight. So that is what happens. And then your whole body gets in coordination and you respond the way you respond. Is that fine? Yes. So I want you to source this from the internet. I want you to source the major functions of the nervous system. What are the major functions of the nervous system? So you can check on your internet. I know you are connected to the internet. Then you can check. Then in one sentence, you can drop your answer in the chat. What are the major functions of the nervous system? I can see Joe is in the lobby, so let me admit him. Joe, welcome. So what are the major functions of what have you found from the internet? What are the major functions of the nervous system? You can type on the chat. I'm trying to admit some trainee here, Joe. As I'm admitting some trainees who are late, let me see what you're typing on the chat. I can see Pauline is typing. Are we there? If you're there, let me see. Pauline is said coordinates body activities. I can see Jonathan has said sensory function, correct. Integration function, correct. Motor function, correct. So on the sensory function, good one. I can see Daisy is typing, good one, good one. Same as to what Jonathan has done above, good one. Great one. Joroge has typed sensory function, detects and carries information to the central nervous, great. Integrative function, good one. Motor function, great. Can we give them thumbs up? Thumbs up to Joroge, Daisy, Jonathan, Pauline, and everyone who has participated. So the major functions of the nervous system, number one is sensory, the input. So the receptors, they detect the changes inside and outside the body. So what happens beneath your skin, the whole body, your whole body is surrounded by the skin. So beneath your skin, we have receptors. So these receptors, they take the stimuli from the surrounding. For instance, under the skin, we have the Merkel cells, we have the Ruffini corpuscles, and then we have the Reisner corpuscles. So these receptors, they take the stimuli from the environment. For example, you have touched that hot cup of porridge. So what happens? The Meissner corpuscles, which are the receptors under your skin, they take that stimuli, they send it through the nervous system, and the nervous system contains the neurons. Then the neurons transmits this electrical signal through the nerves to the brain. Sometimes it happens that the signal is transmitted to the spinal cord and it is interpreted immediately by the spinal ganglion, and then you have the reflex. You withdraw the hand. So the information has not really reached the brain, but you have withdrawn your hand. So that is what happens with the input, the sensory. Then we have the processing. Your brain processes the information, then it gives an output, the command. Take away, retract your hand from the hot cup of porridge. So that is what happens. So those three are the major functions of the nervous system. Here I have a very short brief video which is around 60 seconds. I want to play it. Make sure you watch it, and then we will have an activity of labeling the nervous system. So let's go. Let's watch this video. Can you see the video? Hello? Can you see the video? Okay, good one. Okay, that's fine. So let's watch the video. I'll pause where need be, then I'll explain briefly. So let's go.
The brain is connected to this long tail called your spinal cord. Messages travel up and down the spinal cord at over 250 miles per hour. This is called the dura. It's a connective tissue that surrounds your brain and spinal cord and helps protect your central nervous system. The human brain is divided into two halves, and each half contains 4 lobes. The frontal lobe is your...
Can you hear the sound? I can see someone is typing no sound. Jonathan is typing no sound. Can you hear the sound? Hello? If you can hear the sound, let me see a thumbs up. Is there sound?
Yes.
Okay, Jonathan, I think maybe your device is having others. Can you hear the sound of the video? Not my sound, the sound from the video. If you can hear the sound from the video when I play it, can I get some thumbs up? Let me play the video again. If you cannot hear the sound, let me hear you speak out. You can unmute your microphone, then you speak, no sound. Let's go.
Responsible for higher level thinking and voluntary movement. The parietal lobe processes. The human brain is divided into two halves, and each half contains 4 lobes. The frontal lobe is responsible for higher...
So have you seen that part that is colored, blue? It is called the frontal lobe. So the frontal lobe, from the video illustration, they say that it is what coordinates your mind and gives you analytical skills, thinking skills, analytical thinking, problem solving, and decision making skills. Very important.
The parietal lobe processes sensory information.
The yellow part, it is called the parietal lobe. It processes sensory information from the stimuli, water, all the things that we have talked about.
Like taste and touch. The occipital lobe is primarily responsible for vision, and the temporal lobe is responsible for processing hearing. This part on the back of the brain is called the cerebellum. The cerebellum helps you stay balanced.
So that hind back from the posterior view, that is called the cerebellum. It is used for balance during movement.
Also assists in fine motor activity. Finally, teenage brains are not.
So that is all from the video. I wanted you to understand that the brain is divided into different lobes. We have the frontal lobe, we have the parietal lobe, we have the temporal lobe, we have the cerebellum, then we have the spinal cord that comes from the brainstem, then we have the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe is used for interpretation of vision, what you see from what you perceive with your eyes from the surrounding. So that is all from the video. So let's get back to the class slides. So from the video we have learned that the brain is divided into some parts, and here is an activity from the central nervous system that I want us to actively participate in labeling. Is that fine? Can you hear me? Hello class? Are you there? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, good one. So here is an activity from the video we have watched. I want us to participate in. You see this part that is colored yellow. It is labeled number 6. Who can name that part? You can source the answer from the answer key. The answers don't represent the numbers that are labeled in the central nervous system. So you just pick the answer and then you say, number 6 is this. Number 1 is this. Number 2 is this. Number 3 is this. Number 4 is this. From what you learned from the video. So what is number 6? Who can label as number 6? You can just unmute the microphone and then tell us number 6 is this. Yes? So number 6, when you check from the answer key here, number 6 is the frontal lobe. The yellow colored part labeled number 6. That is the frontal lobe. Is that fine? I thought someone is in the lobby. That is why I have gone to check. That's fine. Then number 1 that is labeled, the thing is pink. Number 1 is the parietal lobe. It is used to perceive sensory, to touch, body position, and the spatial senses. Then we have number 2, that is purple. So that is the occipital lobe. It is used for vision and interprets what you see or you perceive from the surrounding. The information is interpreted there. Then we have this part number 5 that is kind of greenish. That is the temporal lobe. It is used for hearing, language, and for memory. Then we have number 3. Number 3 is the cerebellum, used for balance and fine coordination. Then we have number 4, that is the spinal cord. Is that fine? Is that right? Yes. Good one. So, what have we learned today? In one sentence, I want someone to drop the answer in the chat box, a correct definition of the nervous system. Another one to drop in the chat, the major functions, the 3 major functions that we have learned about the nervous system, and what part of the brain that keeps us balanced when we walk. Just one answer to see what we have learned today. Then I'll have your activity for the session. So let me go to the chat. Let me see the correct definition of the nervous system. Let me see the 3 major functions of the nervous system, and let me see who writes the major function, what part of the brain that controls our movements when we walk. Good one. I can see Jonathan has posted a very good picture there in the chat showing the human brain. So that is the central nervous system. It is labeled the parts of the brain. Good one, Jonathan. I can see Daisy. Daisy has given us the functions. Number 1, sensory, integrative, motor function. Very good and very correct from Daisy. Thumbs up. Keep it up. I can see Pauline Wanga Evelyn is typing. So as Pauline is typing, here is your takeaway activity. So I want you to explain the functions of the nervous system. 15 marks. You submit it as a PDF in the e-portfolio. It is due on 12th this month of July 2026. Is that fine? So you can unmute your microphones, drop a question in the chat. I'll take some few. You can unmute your microphone from your end. Pauline was typing. Let me see what she was typing. Nervous system is the body's communication and control system. Good one. It receives information, processes it, and sends the message to different parts of the body as they respond. Good one from Pauline. Keep it up. Any question up to there? Any comment? Any clarification? Anything you want to know? There being no question, let me adjourn the class until the next time. Good night. See you when you see me in the next class with the assignment posted in your e-portfolios. Bye.